All right, let's kick things off with a question. Ever stop and think about who's actually making money from your personal data? Well, today we're diving into a project that wants to flip that whole idea on its head. It's called JasmyCoin, and some people are calling it Japan's Bitcoin because it wants to put you back in charge.
Okay, so why does any of this even matter? Well, look at this number, 75 billion. That's the number of connected devices, smart devices, that analysts think will be online by 2030. That's not some abstract number. We're talking about your watch, your car, your fridge, everything, just constantly creating a river of data about you.
And that right there, that leads us to the core problem JasmyCoin was created to fix. See, the thing is, right now, that data, it's not really yours. Let's dig into why that's such a big deal.
So here's the reality of today's digital world. Your personal info, it's one of the most valuable things on the planet. I'm talking everything from where you go, to what you buy, to your health stats. Big companies collect all of it. They monetize it. And you? Well, you're the one generating all that value, but you get pretty much no control and definitely no cut of the profits.
And that's where Jasmy steps onto the scene. It's a project coming out of Japan, and its entire mission is to just turn this whole model upside down. Their big idea? To create what they call a data democracy. The goal is to put you, the individual, right back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so what is JasmyCoin exactly? Think of it as the fuel for a platform that gives you your own personal, super secure digital space, a place to actually control your data. It's all about you deciding who gets to see your information, when they can see it, and why.
Now this is a big deal. The project was founded by former top executives from Sony. And why does that matter? Well, these are the folks who have spent their entire careers building the gadgets we all use. The cameras, the gaming consoles, all the stuff that's going to be a part of this IoT data world. Their know-how and their connections, that's their ticket to getting big companies on board.
So how does this whole thing actually work? How do they unlock your data? Well, it's not just about a token. It's a whole ecosystem built around 3 core ideas.
Okay, here's how to picture it. First, you store your data in something they call a personal data locker. It's basically a super secure digital vault, and you, and only you, have the key. Then, if a company wants to use some of your data, they have to ask your permission through a secure communicator. And here's the best part. If you say yes, you get paid for it, directly, in Jasmy tokens. You're basically renting out your data, but completely on your own terms.
Right, so the Jasmy token is what makes this whole system go round. The total supply is capped at 50 billion. But what's really interesting, if you look at how they're distributed, is that almost half, 48%, is set aside just for growing the ecosystem. That tells you they're playing the long game here. They're focused on building something with real, lasting utility, not just riding a wave of hype.
But, having a great long-term vision doesn't automatically mean the market is fully on board right now. And with Jasmy, that's exactly what we see. It's a project that's kind of stuck in this tug-of-war between its massive potential on one side and some pretty big challenges on the other.
Let's dive into the technicals for a second. Our AI analysis crunched 13 different indicators. And look at this. You've got 8 signaling buy, but 5 are still signaling sell. What does that tell us? It means the market is really torn. There's a slight lean towards the positive, sure, but there's absolutely no clear consensus. And that division, that points to a whole lot of uncertainty.
And this right here really lays out that conflict perfectly. On the one hand, the bulls have a lot to be excited about. You've got the launch of their new JasmyChain and a mind-blowing 950% spike in activity from the big whale wallets. But on the other hand, the bears have some serious points. That huge 50 billion token supply is a major concern. And let's be honest, most of the real-world uses for this are still just ideas, not realities.
So for anyone trading this, these are the numbers you gotta watch. The price is in a tough spot right now, kind of squeezed between its immediate support and resistance levels. But the really telling thing here is that long-term indicator. Jasmy is trading below its 200-day moving average, and for a lot of analysts, that's a red flag, a bearish sign for the bigger picture.
This quote from a contributor over on Binance Square just hits the nail on the head. JasmyCoin has promise, but faces significant challenges. It's a powerful idea for sure, but turning a great idea into something that actually dominates the market, that's a completely different ballgame. So the real question is, where does it go from here?
And that brings us to what is really a fork in the road for this project. Because Jasmy's future isn't going to be decided by what the price charts do tomorrow. It's going to come down to one thing. Can they actually deliver? So,
What are the make-or-break factors we should all be watching? Well, it's not about hype anymore. It's about execution. Are big partners like Panasonic going to actually integrate this stuff on a mass scale? Are developers going to start building useful apps on the new JasmyChain? Is that whale activity a sign that big money is buying in or getting out? And can they navigate the incredibly complex web of data regulations around the world? These are the real questions.
And all of this leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is Jasmy going to be the project that actually builds this new data economy, or will it just end up as another speculative bet? The tech is there, the vision is compelling. But the answer to that question, it all comes down to one thing: real, widespread adoption. And that right there is the most important thing to understand about JasmyCoin today.